Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Look at these guys having fun. Got Warren Buffett, Ronald Reagan, of course, the King Lizard himself, Bush Sr. Well, why are they important? Because they create these moments so they could buy here. And I believe that we have to entertain some of those ideas. So I'm going to start this off by saying this is probably not going to be a very well received video. People are probably going to be very mad about it, but it's part of the red pill process. Being okay with the idea of a very, very insane move to happen in these markets and to not expect it, because a lot of the people on YouTube, especially, are typically calling for crashes with how greedy and how, let's just say, bullish they tend to be on an asset that's this volatile. It's sort of understandable. So I just want to examine this moment right here from February 13th to March 13th. And I want to go into two ciphers, two words. We're going to type in Bitcoin. We're going to type in market crash. Okay? And as we can see down here, we have market crash with the 117, 45, and 72, and we have Bitcoin with the 72, 45, 117. 3 out of 4 ciphers matching. Now, maybe this is coincidence. It doesn't really matter, but let's just entertain these ideas, okay? So we have from the beginning of the year in 2020 to the low March 13th. So from January 1st to March 13th, the day that the lowest price happened in Bitcoin since the bottom of the bear market in 2018, I believe, you're getting 72 days. So again, market crash, Bitcoin, 72, with the most pure cipher on Bitcoin, but you also get it on market crash. Interesting, right? I think not. Remember, that was a Friday the 13th. That was when Bill Gates stepped down. This is the same time of year. Okay, March 5th was right here. This moment. It got really ugly starting on around March 7th and 8th. Okay? So, one thing to take note, March 7th and 8th, if I go to the calendar, March 2020, the 7th and the 8th were the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Those were signals of problem. 2 straight really bloody days. Nobody saw it coming. You have sort of this head and shoulders pattern thing going on. It is what it is, right? Everyone learned if you were in the market at this time. But this day, a 40% candle, right? Where almost no wick, meaning from open till close, the entire day, 24 hours straight, it was blood. Okay? Now, again, it was on March 12th, reversed 21 for Jesuit, right? We're getting that, leading into March 13th. It's very interesting how this all worked out. We have 72 days from January 1st till the very bottom. And another thing I've noticed is if I go from the peak before the crash down to the very bottom, right here, I'm just doing this so you can see the percentage. It was 63%, right? Super interesting. And also, it was almost around exactly $6,666 of a loss in dollars. But let's focus on the 63. So, where 63 shows up is in money, and it also matches the 72 of Bitcoin. And then we have the 63 and 36 reversed. Really interesting that we're seeing a 63% decline. We have so many ciphers, we have so much confluence in understanding why this happened. But this was obviously a planned collapse, because if you look at from the absolute high to pretty much this wick right here, it was all recovered in a very, very short amount of time. I guess it would be better to go from the absolute bottom to this date right here. And yeah, I mean, 80-day recovery from the drop. I think everyone could shut off their laptops and wait it out, right? If you had money, pretty much anything below this support line right here, you could tell it was a support line, because if you just leave the cursor here, you can see it was flipped at, it was resistance back here, then it flipped as support. It had this nice moment here, but then right before the crash, this death candle, you can see that there was some trading range trying to keep it alive. So anything below this 7,700 level, probably exactly 7777, anything below that was pretty much prime buying for Bitcoin, you know? Because you're talking about anything below 7,500, and look at where we're sitting today in less than a year, right? So it's about to be a full year. But let's just examine how this date right here, the 7th and the 8th, just to think about that for a moment, was this Saturday and Sunday coming up. Literally, it's a Saturday and Sunday, the first Saturday and Sunday of this month. And the first Saturday and Sunday of this month is starting tomorrow. Again, if you look at the peak being on the 13th of February, let's look at where our peak is. The 21st of February. It's so close, okay? Now, I'm not saying we're going to have this drop, but one thing I do want to show you is, remember, there was a 63% drop, okay? Where would that take us? Notice how a 63% drop takes us back to 21,000, right? For 21 Jesuit. I think that's really interesting. Now, again, this is actually not even an improper technical target. I'll show you exactly what it would look like if I drew a line. So we have from the very peak down 63%. Let me do this on another chart, because this is one of my charts that I use personally and it has way too much shit on it. Let's go with the BLX because I keep that clean. So yeah, we're going to go from the top, drag it down 63%. Of course, I'm not saying this will happen, by the way, guys. Not at all. Let's find out when the 72nd day of the year is, which I believe is sometime next week. So March 14th. Oh, that's exactly where I put it. Okay, that was a mistake, but it ended up being right. So if we fell a similar percent, we're going to end up March 14th, same date, around 21,000. Again, 21 for Jesuit. Be really interesting, right? If that's how it played out. I mean, that's a very brutal thing to experience, because what that would mean from here is we would have a continued 50% drop in Bitcoin. But let's just look at some of our moving averages to kind of gauge what this would be like. So for now, I'm just going to leave this green as the 200 EMA, this white is the 50 EMA, and this yellow is the 9 EMA, okay? So let's scroll through, let's see if we get confluence. Okay, look at that, perfectly, right away. The 200 EMA on the 2-day would be exactly the same region of where this dump would come down to. So it's pretty interesting. Let's look at the 3-day. So the 3-day, we would be in between the 55 and the 200-day, 203-day, excuse me. And let's look at the weekly chart. A little high, but let's add on our 13, 21, and 34 and see what that would look like. So we would be well below the 21-week moving average, but how quickly did this get back up? Let's see. Let's just use this 140% in 49 days. Wow. So we have 49 days. Bonkers. Bonkers. Okay. So, anyways, we would be back up above the 21 EMA within like a week or two. So I'm just entertaining these ideas because I think it's really crazy how I went back. Trust me, I went back and I watched all of the videos I could on this date of all the YouTubers: Crypto, Trevon James, Crypto Jeb, Tyler S, Da Vinci J15. I went back and watched everyone. Seriously, I went back and literally watched everyone. And this week right here, no one was talking about a market crash. No one, because they're influencers, they're hype boys. They are probably paid at moments like this to be ultra bullish. Okay? Now, am I saying we're going to make this move? Have I made a video yet talking about this? No. But there's a 10% chance, a 15%, a 20% chance of this happening. Who would know? Right? Who would know? Especially when the sentiment is so clouded in its judgment. So I believe, in my personal opinion, if we were to have a nice healthy dump, it would probably just come to this 21-week EMA, which we haven't backtested all the way since September. It's just been blue skies ahead. So it is something to consider. I'm not saying it will happen, but I am saying that the fact that this potential $40,000 Bitcoin is incoming in all of my predictions at the same time as this market crash happened a year ago. And this year is a little more special with the 21 being in the year. I'm not letting my guard down. And I have told everyone when the market was going parabolic up here, I was letting everyone know when we saw these corrections that 30 to 33,000 is going to be the best buy-ins you can get. I was saying that back here, and it was. But now, ever since, it's in sketchy territory. Okay? Sure, 40,000 might possibly be the best next buy-in, but we don't know. We could lose support there, come all the way down to 36, 35, right? If we don't back test this 21-week EMA, which is sitting right now at 32,000, if we never back test that, we either, one, have to delete all of the previous bull market technical analysis that helped us get to that understanding of the importance of the 21 EMA, or we have to anticipate a flash crash in the middle of this bull run. It's one or the other, right? We can't, either we have to stop talking about it because we haven't back tested it, or Bitcoin is just a unicorn and it's having a white swan where it's going against all odds. Now, let's think about this with gold and the markets at this moment. Gold is now, it's just cratering. So how is gold cratering whilst the government is discussing a $1.9 trillion stimulus? Why is the dollar having a basically a bounce back? I mean, this might be the first closure above the 21-week EMA we've had, all the way since, yeah, literally all the way since May, the summer of 2020, before, basically right around the crash of last year. You see this yellow right here, this orange line. This is the 21 week. We're about to close that today. So this could be heading for a full-on reversal. Now, I know this is very bearish. I know this sounds opposite of what everyone wants to hear. But I believe that I've gotten the clients that I have off of being real. And I believe yesterday's video told you guys a lot about how I look into all this stuff. And it's hopefully we build a solid team, a solid family of people that all have an open pineal gland and are willing to accept that these markets are designed by these people and they don't give a fuck about you. They use people on YouTube and Twitter as agents to make you feel a certain way at a certain time so you act accordingly. And we need to be able to see through them. So I'm going to leave that video there. It was more of a video to discuss how we can be open-minded and we could be ready for anything. Because I'll let you guys know, if I see a dump of it down to $20,000 Bitcoin, you know who's buying that dip. Just saying. I'll buy at the 35 first because that's the VPVR. 34. I'll be buying there first, and then next I'll be buying that 21,000 to 19,000. Is it going to happen? 15% chance. Is 40,000 going to happen or 39,000 going to happen? 30-40% chance. Was $43,000 the bottom? I don't know. Whoever is on YouTube telling you guys that they know exactly what the fuck is going to happen, I sincerely suggest you question their motives and you question what they've actually, what they stand for. Do they stand for their sentiment and always being right and yelling at everyone saying exactly as predicted? And that stuff's obnoxious to me. So we need to build a foundation of allowing anything to happen and use some of our code to see. This is all tied. Catch you guys in the next video.